Right, welcome everybody. Back to another faction review video. This time we'll be talking sisters, going through the new book. We've got Scott Morris here today. Say hello, Scott.
Hello.
So Scott finished #1 in the UK with sisters in the ITC rankings last season. So he's a good person to get on and
#2
chat sisters with. He also won the Carnage season, the overall season. So for those who don't know, like we have all the winners of all our events across the year come together for like a battle royale at the end, and Scott won that as well, beating Kyle Grundy and Jacob Whitehouse to take it home as well with sisters. So he knows his sisters. So firstly, Scott, do you want to run us through all the datasheet changes just really quickly, and then we'll crack on into the detachments and stuff?
Yes, I can do, yeah. Or did you want the army rule first?
Oh, we can do the army rule first. Should we do the army rule first?
Can do, yeah. You wanted to get that out of the way, didn't you?
So the army rule, basically, I'm not going to read it word for word because it's very, very long. The start of every turn and every time an Adepta Sororitas unit dies, you gain a miracle dice. So what you do is when you gain a miracle dice, you roll a d6, and whatever that result is, you keep that as your miracle dice and you add it to your pool. Then throughout the game, every unit, once per phase, can substitute one of these miracle dice instead of rolling a dice. So you have to do this before the roll. Things like charges and battle shocks, you have to just put the miracle dice in and then roll the other one. So you can do this for advanced rolls, battle shock tests, charge, damage, hit roll, saving throw, wound roll. So it's really, really good. You get loads of dice. I honestly think this is probably the best army rule in the game, like of all the factions personally, because it's just like, oh, I've got a melter shot, I'm gonna just automatically wound or automatically do 8 damage or whatever. Yeah, so I just think it's mint. What do you think, Scott?
I really like it. I've always liked it. Playing armies that don't have it, you feel like you miss it, just like when you know you need that 3-inch advance to get on an objective, or to just pass this last saving throw to keep the character alive. Just being able to do that, whereas it just takes the randomization out of the game of having to roll it and then get stressed out because it's the wrong thing. And once they've put dev wounds into sisters, being able to put dice in is even more strong, I think.
Yeah, it's super strong. So as an Eldar player, it's obviously similar to Fate dice, and yeah, it can be game changing when you don't actually have to make a roll. Or the amount of times that you'll need a CP reroll something and it's 1 into a 1. So with this, if you fail first time and you really, you need to do it even on CP reroll, you can just stick your miracle dice in, and you just get so many of them. With sisters having, well, we don't have as many units now. The points have gone up.
Yeah, I mean, they've put in a lot of other ways that we'll go through later to gain more miracle dice, and I think certain detachments are going to be much hungrier than the others for miracle dice, definitely.
Yeah, cool. All right then. So changes to data sheets then. What are the main ones? I mean, you'd have to go through every single one.
No, I'll just go through probably some of the better ones. I mean, Val used to have a once per game ability where she'd basically, you'd do it in your command phase and you'd gain an extra 3 attacks in combat and an extra 3 attacks on her heavy bolter.
Yeah.
Whereas now, basically, whenever she's selected to shoot or fight, you can discard a miracle dice and she gains that ability. And if she kills just a single model, you gain a miracle dice back.
All right, okay.
It's a pretty easy way of just like, I mean, she gets 6 shots on a heavy bolter. And obviously, if she's with Paragons, she hits on 2s with full reroll. You're bound to kill just a model.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean? And it's kind of like you've only got to discard a 1 to potentially gain something better.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Other big ones. Catherine was another big change, as well as massive points increase. But basically, she pretty much now at the start of the battle round, she automatically gives you a 6 miracle dice. That's not including the one that you gain per turn. Just basically at the start of the battle round, you gain a 6 straight up.
That's so good.
She's had a slight few changes to some of her auras, which is good. So she can choose 2 auras at the start of the battle round. I think when she gets bracketed, you can only choose 1, but you can choose 2 out of 6 auras. She can basically have, when a unit is within 6 inches of this model, add +2 to move and 1 to advance and charges. So like I say, certain detachments, you basically, if you're advancing and shooting or advancing and charging, you're getting +3 to it straight off the bat, just for range with her. She's basically an aura of reroll battle shocks. The old school aura that she has, where you can use 2 acts of faith on a unit instead of 1.
Right.
She used to give you unlimited, which was busted.
Yeah, that was a bit broken.
Basically, any unit within 6 of her could spend 2 miracle dice. You could get 2 wounds through on your melters and go 2 6s or blah blah blah.
Yeah.
She has a reroll 1s aura of ranged attacks. 6 up feel no pain aura, and an aura of basically everything. Melee weapons gain an extra AP. So I think a lot of people were using that with the Arcos last edition, so that they actually had AP.
That is a lot of options.
Yeah,
like, I can see why she's a lot of points now. I mean, maybe she's a bit much, but like the flexibility over there is just like she could probably go in any detachment.
I think you still put her in any detachment realistically, because I think she obviously buffs herself. And the problem with Catherine is I don't know about this oval base business that's going on. Obviously, it's not been cleared up, has it? Because she's not technically on a round base, so whether she has to pay to pivot, I don't know. But she used to struggle to get through buildings because of how big her base was. But if she's given herself +50 move every turn, she's a lot quicker.
Would she maybe have to pivot then? I just thought it was like vehicles.
I don't know. It was a really weird worded phrase. I think it's worded differently in the app than it is in the balance slate. Because people say the bikes have to pivot, don't they? Because
at least it's only 2 inch now, isn't it? Just flat to pivot.
Flat 2 inch. I don't think she will. I think it'll get fact. I think it's just been missed. Because in the actual balance data slate, it says that she doesn't. It's only vehicles on round bases that don't. Yeah. But then in the actual data slate, it just, on the app, it just says anything on a round base doesn't have to pivot. So then everyone's like, what about bikes?
Right.
I think that would be silly. I think it's just a miswording.
Yeah, I think so. It seems a bit daft.
Other key, there's the new Canoness with the jump pack. I think she's believable, if I'm honest. I mean, I thought she was going to be more points. I think she's 75 points, which I guess for a 3 wounded character is quite a lot. But
yeah,
she's basically, she gives you the captain ability, so the new one where you can basically use a Stratfor with -1 CP now, won't it, on her unit. And then also she has a once per battle ability where at the start of the fight phase she gets 3 extra attacks and she gets dev wounds. So she's just like a little pocket rocket
thing.
She's got a halberd that's 5 attacks, strength 5, AP 2/2, and then she's got a bunch of other weapons that are strength 6, AP 2/2, and then in certain detachments and certain enhancements you can turn her into an absolute 11, 12 attack beast.
Yeah.
And she'll cool. Take off chaff, really.
Yeah, that's cool. Seems like a really good character for 75 points, to be fair.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's the 3 wounds, though, isn't it? You blow on her and she'll fall off.
Yeah.
The Palatine's the same. They slightly tweaked the words on the other epic hero, Astrid, Ferga, and Agatha. She used to give you unit dev wounds in combat, whereas now she gives you unit dev wounds permanently. So she's the one that's gone out of stock quite quickly at GW, I think, because
I've actually not heard of her.
No one used to really take her, and obviously it's a double character unit, so it's technically.
What can she go in? What can she go in to give dev wounds to then?
Battle Sisters, Sacrosancts, Dominions, Retributors, and Novitiates. So you can put her with Retributors.
That's quite nice. Then just prop the 6 with Miracle Dice.
Yeah. And then if you're in range of Catherine, you can use 2. So you can. All you need really to kill most things is 2 dev wounded multi-melters.
That's quite nice.
It's a 200-point unit. I mean, I don't know. I think she has some play, maybe not so much, because they're still very weak sisters, and that's why I'm a bit miffed with the points, because they can put out a lot of power, but one Overwatch and you've lost half your power. Or they're all like 5 model T3 squads still. They're not hard to kill.
Yeah, they're going to be trickier to play, I think, but when you get it right, I think they're going to be brilliant still.
Well, here's hoping. A couple of the little characters changed, but nothing major that I'll need to go through, I don't think.
No.
Sister Novitiate squad gained infiltrates now, which is good.
That's pretty nice.
Didn't have an infiltrating unit in Sisters.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You need one, especially like current meta and stuff.
Yeah, so basically a unit of 10 girls with OC2 that can infiltrate.
That's banging.
Battle Sisters now gain sticky objectives, whereas they used to gain you an additional miracle dice at the start of every turn if they were on an objective.
Right.
Whereas now, basically, the banners that you equip them with, it's got like the Grotz ability. So if there's a banner on an objective on a 4+, you gain a miracle dice. So it's not as guaranteed anymore.
But getting sticky is, I'd probably rather have that because you get so many miracle dice.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. And then the novitiates have got that banner as well. So if you've got 2 banners on an objective, chances are you're going to get at least 1, aren't you?
Yeah. It's always nice as well, to be fair.
Dominions used to just have reroll advances as their ability, but now they basically get a reactive move if someone finishes within 9.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, losing advance and do actions has probably took Dominions out of the game, I think, a bit, because originally they were the only thing with Assault in the Codex, so they were useful to have for that, but now that you can't do that anymore, I don't know if you'll see them very much.
Right, fair enough.
They're the same. Zephyrim used to get +1 strength on the charge, which they don't have anymore. They can still reroll advances and charges because of the banner, but then basically now, every time they're selected to fight, they can either choose sustained hits or lethal hits, or you can discard a miracle dice and you get both.
That's all right.
It's not too bad. The points that they put them at is definitely bad, so I don't think you see them either anymore. They went up 30 points for 5.
We might hear a lot of Scott being sad about the points throughout this, by the way, guys.
Well, that's it. Like, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. Because
I heard some lists went up like 300 points and stuff.
I mean, they're still only 3 attacks at strength 4, AP 2, 1. Even if they've got sustained hits and lethals, they don't deserve to go up 6 points a model, I'm afraid.
How many points did your list go up?
That team's list went up 310 points, and it didn't even have Catherine in it.
Oh my god! It didn't even have Catherine in it either.
No,
that's wild. It would have nearly gone up 400 points if you had Catherine in it.
Retributors, slight change. They used to reroll 1s built in, whereas they still reroll 1s to wound now. But if they target a unit that's killed any of your units over the course of the game, they get full rerolls to wound. So that's not bad either when you could have dev wounding retributors.
Yeah.
With full rerolls built in, or your flamers if you take them with flamers.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Repentia are pretty much the same, slight tweak.
Did they use?
Arcos lost the 4 Feel No Pain. What was I saying, sorry?
Did Repentia use to fight on death, or have I made that up?
Oh, that was like old edition.
Oh, was it?
It was weird, basically. Repentia used to reroll hits all the time and wounds on the charge, whereas now they just reroll hits and wounds all the time, whether you charge or not. It's the only difference.
Right.
Arcos, no more 4 up Feel No Pain. They've got a 5 up now. But they've actually got 6 up Invuln now, whereas they were the only thing in the book that didn't have a 6 up Invuln. So they're nowhere near as sturdy as they were, because the 4 up Feel No Pain, 2 wounds was obnoxious. But
yeah, I sort of agree with just there not being any 4 up Feel No Pain in the game at all.
Well, there is a way, but
there is, but I think that it should just be 5 up max, like no more. Do you know how with like indirect you can't get better than hitting on a 4?
Yeah, no, it should be the same Feel No Pain, shouldn't it?
Because it just skews the maths far too much.
Yeah, 100%. Paragon Warsuits used to be at a fallback shoot and charge, but a lot of the time they killed whatever they charged, so it was quite irrelevant. Whereas now they're actually, if they basically target a monster or vehicle, they get +1 to hit and +1 to wound. And that's shooting and combat.
That's good.
So multi-melters being strength 9 with +1 to wound, or potentially 10 with all of Val's rerolls if they're with Val. They have got a lot better.
I'd rather have that. That is very good.
Yeah, it's a lot better. Immolators, the kind of Razorback transports.
Yeah.
He used to give you reroll wounds if you disembarked and shot the same target, whereas now they just have a straight turn off cover rule if they shoot you. Which is definitely decent.
That's really good, to be fair. For the rest of the turn, for the rest of your army, yeah?
Yeah. So anything else that shoots them, they've got no cover.
Yeah, that's really good.
Isn't too bad. Exorcists, my all-time favourite. obviously they lost heavy, and then obviously the indirect rule
As
nerfed anyway. So pretty much having exorcists, you just need to use them as a direct tank, because you're not going to be hitting on freeze indirect ever anymore. So since you've got heavy, you don't need to stay still. So you might as well just
move them out.
Something. But then since they lost heavy, they gained an extra AP, so they're actually AP free now. Whereas they were AP2, because they were AP2 before, you shot indirect, it went to AP1, someone popped down like a 10th, and then you
Yes. I see what you're saying. So just more use them as a normal tank.
I probably would do. It's still D6 2 plus 2 shots at strength 10 AP, 3 D6 damage, and there's ways to bump the AP even more in the book. Just full send them, and then you're actually hitting on freeze if you can draw the sight.
And then it's not like if they're hiding stuff, you can just use their indirect.
So. Yeah, you still have that option.
Yeah.
The better thing, which I figured out, was obviously I always took the D6 damage rockets, which I've always taken, but then they've got the second rockets, which is basically a 3D6 blast profile.
Yeah.
Strength 6 AP, 1 damage, and that ignores cover already. So even that's
pretty good.
3D6 shots at strength 6 isn't terrible. And if you're full sending them, bump the AP up and you've got AP2.
Yeah.
Turn the cover off. It's a lot of anti-chaff.
I'd imagine 3 of them, 9D6.
and the blast as well. So like I say, it's it's blast. So, but it's with it only being 1 gun, it's going to be like 3D.
Oh, it's all 1 gun, the 3D6.
Yeah, the blast isn't that great on it, if I'm honest. Castigators lost all their rerolls. They used to reroll against either monsters or infantry, depending on what gun you took. Whereas now they're kind of similar to the Immolator, but any unit that you shoot with them, whatever else shoots afterwards gains an extra AP.
Okay, it's just similar to ignore cover, basically.
Yeah, or even if you use the battle cannons, they ignore cover anyway. So you got AP2 battle cannons ignoring cover. So they can buff each other. Or it's when you flamers get your flamers up to AP 1 or 2. Is that everything? Yes, I think it is.
Cool. Yeah, and that's some good changes, to be fair. There's actually a lot of the stuff's got a little bit better, and some side grades, but I think
a few of the stuff. Like I said, there was a few of the little characters in there that got a couple of extra abilities. They were the ones that used to be like 30-point characters, but they went up to about 65 points. So it's just like, I'm not even going to waste my time.
Yeah. Am I right thinking that the Crusaders are gone as well?
Yes, sorry, yeah. Crusaders gone. The Death Cult Assassins have gone. So all your little small units.
Yeah,
the priests went. You had like 2 different types of priests that could join Arcos, where they've brought in the new Ministorum priest or whatever he's called, which is basically the Blackstone Fortress characters.
Right.
And they basically give a unit of Arcos +1 to wound if they join them.
Okay.
And they've got one of them's got a flame and the other one's just got a combat weapon. They're not that crazy.
Cool. So the Crusaders are gone. No more spamming them just for miracle dice.
Well, yeah, or even like they just came in from Strat Reserve and just got you engaged and stuff. Or using them to screen. I used to use them as deep strike screen. If I thought that my opponent's going to ingress somewhere, I'd just put 2 Crusaders there, and I'm just like, you can't ingress there now. Because they were like 30 points.
Oh, there was the strat where you could make your opponent fight that unit one there as well.
Yeah, they'd have to fight them, yes.
So I think this is still about. I think we're going to get to this in a minute.
It's actually got better now, yeah.
All right, so move on to the detachments then. We'll do the detachments, then Scott will give his viewpoint on where he ranks them, and then Scott's going to go through his top 5 units in the new book as well, and where they sort of sit in the current meta, but obviously it's hard to say with it all changing right now. So, right, so the Blood of Martyrs then. The detachment rule: each time an Adepta Sororitas model from your army makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll if that model unit is below its starting strength, and add 1 to the wound roll if the model's unit is below half strength. What do you think to that? Is that the old one? That's the same as what it was?
Yeah, that's the same as the one we've been doing the whole of 10th. I think it's all right. I think it's a bit...
it's just okay.
It's one of them, yeah. Sometimes it comes into play, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, it helped in combat, like if someone charged one of your tanks and just took a wound off it, you're like, right, cool, I'm not -1 to hit you anymore. But it was quite niche, and a lot of people would just kill your units off. I kind of you got used to that detachment just because it had really good strats. So I think having a detachment now in the book that's actually got a good rule is going to just benefit massively, because that one is very
Yeah.
neat.
And
And
it's
most
better
of
for
the
your tanks, isn't it? Because your little units sort of go out, do a job, and die anyway.
yeah, 100%. And like the Arcos, it was good when you used to take Arcos because they hit on 4s base. So if you just lost one, Arcos hitting on 3s is a lot better than 4s.
Yeah.
But there's ways to get +1 to hit and +1 to wound in other detachments now anyway. So
Cool. So enhancements. The first one, when the bearer is destroyed, you gain additional D3 miracle dice. So
it's one of them. If you've got points for it, you just take it on a
you're gonna roll a 1 or a 2. Like, that was pointless.
Yeah, but then the good thing about that detachment is if you res the character, when they die again, it procs again.
Oh, does it? Do you come back with the enhancement?
Yeah, you come back with the enhancement. So that's what people used to do. They'd take a cheap character and give him that enhancement, and then just send him off to die and potentially get you 8 miracles.
All right, okay.
If you're lucky enough.
I see that. The next one, forgot to read the. That was called Saintly Example, by the way. So the next one, through suffering strength, Adepta Sororitas model. Add 1 to the attack, strength, and damage of the bearer's melee weapons. If the bearer has lost 1 or more wounds, add 2 attacks, strength, and damage. Yeah, not great, is it?
No, not when it being like all the characters that you can take enhancements on are like 3 or 4 wound characters. So that's not really ever going to come into play. I mean, on that Canoness being 3 damage is probably quite tasty, but apart from her.
Yeah, you might give it to her if you've got points left, but it's not an auto attack or anything, is it?
No.
Chaplet of Sacrifice, Adepta Sororitas model. At the end of your command phase, if the bearer is on the battlefield, you can reroll 1 miracle dice from your pool and return it to your pool, showing the new result. When doing so, if the bearer's unit is below its starting strength, you can reroll up to 3 miracle dice. That's all right.
Yeah, I used to take that one on my Magifier that I used to put with 10 Battle Sisters. It's just recycling miracle dice. I mean, a lot of the time you roll a 1 straight into another 1 again, but
of course, yeah.
If by favour, if you put it on a squad of 10, you've got a much better chance of being below half strength.
Yeah.
So
it's not, is it? It's all right. It's another one again though if you've got points left.
Yeah. None of these enhancements I think I have to have it.
Yeah. Just nice little extras if you've got some points. And then the last one, Mantle of Ophelia, however you say that. Canoness or Palatine model. Each time an attack is allocated to the bearer, change the damage characteristic to 1. I still think that again is like similar to the +1 attacks thing. It's just like,
yeah, you're putting it on a Canoness or a Palatine, and they've got 4 wounds each.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, all right.
Right, they've got 4 wounds each. If your Canoness can have a once per game 2-up invuln for free. So like she doesn't need -1 damage really.
No.
Damage down to 1 because who's shooting your Canoness with?
Yeah, I think all them enhancements are a bit naff if I'm honest. Like they're all takeable. They're just not.
Yeah, none of them are auto includes, definitely.
No. So let's see if the stratagems get any better then. So the first one is 1 CP, Divine Intervention. In any phase, 1 character unit from your army that was destroyed, you can use this stratagem on that unit even though it was just destroyed. You discard 1 to 3 miracle dice. At the end of the phase, set the destroyed model from your unit back up on the battlefield as close as possible to where it was destroyed and not within engagement range of any enemy models. Roll 1d3, adding 1 to the result for each miracle dice you discarded. That model is set back up with that number of wounds remaining. So, and you can't use this on Celestine either. Or you can't use it on a character more than once per battle either.
No.
But it's good though.
I hoped that this strat would be like the Armor of Content strat and it'd be in every detachment, but it isn't. Because this, not having that strat, I think, is going to be quite a hard one. I think because it is just so good to have, and it's just so annoying. I mean, like especially on like new secondaries where you've got to be in certain quarters. If someone kills your character, you decide, I'm just going to bring them back up.
Yeah, it's so good.
Time or when you could bring the Demon Fuge back as well. Well, just her. Or you could bring one of the 2 characters back, like bringing Ephriel Stern back. Pretty much most of the time at teams probably won me the game because then she'd just gone an absolute tear. And it's the same with Val. If you can bring Val back with like 4 or 5 wounds,
If you can bring Val back, that's so
That's
good.
what I mean. The fact that you can bring Val, you can bring the Triumph back. You can bring Catherine.
You can bring the Triumph back.
Yeah, I mean, she only comes back on, what is it, D3 plus up to 3. So she brackets at 5 wounds. So you'd probably need to roll a 3 on your D3 to come back with 6 wounds. But the fact that you can bring back, a 6OC model as well, like if someone kills her and she comes back, she'll just take you off the objective.
It's super strong because the fact that you don't have to roll for it, like the Phoenix gem or something, you could just
Yeah.
35 points and roll a 1. But here it's like you just spend a CP, and it's really really good, that one. Next one, Suffering and Sacrifice. Start of the fight phase, 1 infantry or walker unit. Until the end of the phase, each time an enemy model whose unit is within engagement range of your unit selects its targets, it must select your unit as the target. So that's what we were saying before, wasn't it, with the Crusaders?
Yeah, it's slightly got better now, because it used to be it's only models in engagement range have to fight it, which didn't really make much sense. It used to work mainly, say if you charged Mortarion into a tank and a unit of Crusaders, which someone's done to me before, I could be like, well, he can only fight them. But if you put 10 orcs into both of them, me popping that strat would only mean that the ones in engagement range with the Crusaders had to fight it, whereas the rest of the squad could still do what it wanted.
Right.
Now with the new strat, the whole unit can only fight that, whereas it used to be only was an engagement range. So it was a bit pointless unless you were getting charged by Angron or just one.
Yeah, so it's definitely better, and you know why it's even better? Because Heroic Intervention's 1 CP now.
Yeah.
So if you have 2 CP, then you don't want someone to die.
Oh, definitely, because I think if people multi-charge you just for the sake of multi-charging you, and you're just like, well, you've put 1 model into this unit and you've put 9 into that one, I'm going to make it so that you have to fight that one that only 1 model, and the rest of them just so like, great. But then you haven't really got like Crusaders and stuff to really do that anymore. So
yeah, it's still really, really strong though. So 2 good ones so far. Righteous Vengeance, fight phase. 1 unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a melee attack, you can re-roll the hit roll, and if you're below half strength, you can re-roll the wound roll.
Yeah, that's a new one that wasn't in that detachment last before the Codex.
Yeah, it's good.
It's definitely good having re-roll hits on the units.
Yeah, it's just to make your attacks more efficient.
Yeah, having that if you had that with Arcos in the last edition, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, it's another good one. Sanctified Immolation, any phase. 1 vehicle model from your army with the Deadly Demise ability that was just destroyed. You can use that stratagem on the model even though it was just destroyed. Do not roll a d6 to determine mortal wounds are just automatically inflicted. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, but your tanks are only blowing up D3 damage.
Yeah, it's not like amazing or out, but you know, it's like.
No, yeah, good work. To be fair, Val explodes, so.
I just think it's fun.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, it could work. Like, say, if you're right in the middle of somewhere.
It's niche, innit? But it's like that. There's that one situation, and will come up where they've jumped onto your objective, they've killed your tank, and they're going to score Storm Hostile and win the game or something.
Yeah,
so you auto blow and kill the character up or whatever's just done it, and you're like,
yeah, definitely
having that. Spirit of the Martyr. This is 2 CP. In the fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, 1 unit from your army that was selected as the target of 1 or more of the attacking unit's attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit is destroyed, if that model has not fought this phase, do not remove it from play. The destroyed model can fight after the attacking unit has finished making its attacks. Fight on death.
Yeah, a free fight on death. Well, a free fight on death effectively, so you don't have to roll for it. I mean, it is a 2 CP strat, but
yes, good.
Obviously, battle tactics aren't a thing anymore, so you could put that on a squad with a Canoness that will give you it for 1 CP. But just have an auto fight on death for 2 CP, I think it's pretty bonkers anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really strong. So a lot of them you have to roll 3 up or a 4 up.
Yeah, 3 up, 4 up, and stuff like that. Whereas I used to just use that on Arcos all the time.
Yeah, that's really, really strong, that one. So all the stratagems are good for this one. So we've got one more. Praise the Fallen, 1 CP. Your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit has shot. 1 unit from your army that has had 1 or more of its models destroyed as a result of the attacking unit's attacks. Your unit can shoot as if it were your shooting phase, but can only target that enemy unit. So you shoot back at that unit that shot you. So that's pretty good as well.
Yeah, I used to use that one a lot as well. It was one of them with Val as well. Val's unit. If someone would shoot at you and just destroy one warsuit, the firepower coming back from the rest of them, because obviously they'd be hitting on 2s because they'd get the +1 to hit. And for 1 CP, they'd nearly kill quite a lot of things. A lot of people probably wouldn't shoot at them just because of that threat if they were within 18. It was the same with Overwatch from that squad being full rerolls to hit and wound.
Quite a lot of good strats in that. Quite a lot of like sort of defensive, reactive sort of things where if I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to shoot you back. I'm going to fight you, I'm going to fight you back. I'm going to charge you, I'm going to make a fight over here. I'm going to kill you, I'm going to bring it back to life. So I think it's pretty good.
That's why I enjoyed that detachment the whole way through 10th, but it was kind of like playing Hypercrypt Necrons, whereas you've got a really good detachment rule, but all your strats are terrible. And then this was kind of like, you've got really good strats, but your detachment rule's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, if they could get the best of both, it'd be insane.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's got massive play. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's still okay. Obviously, with all the points hikes, but yeah. So yeah, detachment rule and enhancements, meh. But stratagem's really good.
Stratagem was very good, yeah.
All right, move on to the next one. Then this is the penitent host. All right. Detachment rule, desperate for redemption. At the start of the battle round, select one of the following vows of atonement to be active for your army until the start of the next battle round. You can only select each vow of atonement once per battle. So the path of the penitent is the first one. Add 3 inch to the move characteristics of penitent models from your army. That's pretty good.
It's very good.
Yeah. Absolution in battle. Each time a unit from your army is selected to fight, if that unit made a charge move this turn, until the end of the phase, add +1 attacks and strength to the melee weapons by penitent models. And then the last one, Death Before Grace. It's a fight on death on a 2+ for your penitent models as well. So yeah, you're only going to get 3 turns of army rules.
Yeah, it's kind of like probably playing in a war. You just like,
yeah,
you have one turn where you just stage, and then you have one turn where you full send and everything just goes wild. But like I was saying earlier, with having Catherine around, if you've got Catherine, rhinos.
You wish you could have multiple Catherines.
The inch from that move, you can go absolutely miles. Like, she'll give you a +3 to your move. The rhino will give you a +3. That attachment will give you a +3. Like, everything going +9.
That's mental.
You can have like a.
Tell me there's an advance and charge strat in there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
That's fucking.
And obviously, you can use Catherine's miracle dice to give you a 6 on your advance, so then you've just gone like 22 inches or something.
That's insane. All right, so it's pretty good. I like it. What? Just remind me, because I actually don't know that much about sisters. What units are the penitent ones?
So basically, in the new one, it is Repentia, Arco Flagellants, and then just the penitent engines, so the mortifiers and the whatever the other ones are called, penitent engines, I think, but they're not. I mean, they've pretty much got a built-in advance and charge rule anyway, and they've got like assault flamers and some twin link combat weapons. They're not too bad, but they're vehicles and they're a bit sluggish.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas they can't go in transports, whereas, like I said, you need 30 Repentia really in that list.
Yeah.
30 Repentia and some Arcos, preferably.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we'll do the enhancements then. Psalm of Righteous Judgment.
Yes.
Some of these are proper cool names, by the way. While the bearer is on the battlefield, each time an enemy unit is destroyed by a penitent unit from your army, you can discard 1 miracle dice, then gain 1 miracle dice showing a value of 6. I think that enhancement is bonkers. Because it's just any unit on the battlefield. You don't even have to be. You could just be a backfield objective. Yeah.
Character. I mean, if you're taking a penitent detachment, you're going to be taking penitent units. But yeah, it's definitely good. Being able to get 6s. Just get rid of your 1s and get 6s.
And if you couple that with Catherine, you're getting
many 6s.
6s are coming out your ears, mate.
Yeah, it's just what do you spend them on? It's another one of them. I think the penitent detachment doesn't really. I mean, your 6s you want them for advances, I guess, and charges.
Charges, yeah.
But it's not like damage and hit rolls and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
But you could just end up with loads of 6s. Get rid of all your 1s. And just get
It's pretty wild. All right, that's pretty good. And then next one, Verse of Holy. It doesn't have the points on here, though. That's the only thing, but it doesn't really matter. Verse of Holy Piety. Okay. Penitent model only. Once per battle, at the start of the battle round, select one vow of atonement. Until the start of the next battle round, that vow of atonement is active for the bearer's unit. Yeah, that's pretty good. So you can just basically pick one of them 3 things we mentioned: +3 move, +1 attack and strength on the charge, or 2+ fight on death.
Yeah, like I said, you can have it. It means you could use either 2 in 1 turn effectively, or you could just have the same one again. Because like I say, if you're only getting +1 attack and strength for 1 turn army wide, you're gonna have to absolutely full send.
Yeah.
Whereas at least you could have one unit that's. I mean, I think if I remember, I'm going to get them up, but these enhancements are quite expensive in this detachment.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty good. You can have this active while another one's active as well.
So you could have the +3 move and then the +1 attack and charge on 1 unit.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad. You got the points up.
Which enhancement was that?
That was Verse of Holy Piety.
It's only 15 points, that one. The first one that you said is 30 points, though, the one where you turn Miracle Dice into 6s. That's a 30-point enhancement.
A little bit pricey.
Oh, yes.
Refrain of Enduring Faith. Penitent model only. While the bearer is leading a unit, models in that unit have a 5+ in them.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad on Arcos or Repentia. Definitely not.
Yeah.
It's 25 points, but to give a unit of Arcos 5 up in 1, 5 up feel no pain.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's all right, isn't it? It's all right.
Yeah.
And then the last one, Catechism of Divine Penitence. Canoness, Palatine, or Ministorum Priest model only. The bearer gains the penitent keyword, and during the declare battle formation step can be attached to a Repentia squad. What do you make of that? Yeah, because that just.
Yeah, I quite like that one actually, because I think it was what I was saying to you earlier, is that you can put basically the Palatines give her squad lethal hits. So you can put a Palatine with Repentia that already have sustained hits and full rerolls. You've then got sustained and lethals on a squad. Or if a Canoness joins, she gives them rerolls 1s to hit, but that doesn't really matter with Repentia. But then you can have do a strat for less CP.
Yeah.
The Preacher would give them +1 to wound permanently when he was in the squad. So I mean, either having the +1 to wound or lethals with Repentia is definitely good. But it just means you've got 1 death squad really.
Yeah, nice. Just gives you a bit more options, doesn't it?
Yeah, because no characters can actually join Repentia apart from that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's
enhancement. Sorry, and it's 20 points. So I mean, a Palatine's 50 points. So, and she actually slaps quite hard on her own because she still does mortals.
Nice.
Actually, even better, because every successful wound that a Palatine does deals a mortal, and if she's in the Repentia squad, she's rerolling all wounds because of the.
Right. Yeah. So that's quite a good little combo. That then.
Actually pop off with Repentia.
Yeah, nice. All right, cool. We'll move on to the stratagems then. Final Redemption, 1 CP, any phase, 1 penitent unit from your army that was just destroyed while you was in range of an objective marker you controlled. You can use this stratagem on that unit even though it was just destroyed. That objective marker remains under your control even if you have no models. So yeah, sticky it when you die, basically.
Yeah, it's the World Eaters one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's handy to have. It's pretty good. It's pretty annoying for people if they shoot you off and just go, still having it.
Yeah, definitely.
Next one, Purity of Suffering. When your opponent's shooting phase or the fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, 1 penitent unit from your army that was selected as the target of 1 or more of the attacking unit's attacks. Until the end of the phase, penitent models in your unit have feel no pain 4+. Yeah.
So the Arcos can go back. And with potentially a 5 up invuln, so they're actually more sturdy than they ever were. I mean, it's going to cost you a CP, but
yeah, that's strong. That
it's good to have.
Literally just saying, get rid of 4 up feel.
Yeah, I knew that was coming as well. I mean, on Repentia, maybe it's not too bad. But Repentia have already got a 5 up feel no pain. They're only 1 wound, Repentia, so it's a bit.
Yeah, so it's
Putting on Arcos, realistically, you want it on. I don't even think about the Penitent engines because they've only got like 6 wounds, so they're not even really worth saving either.
no, it's quite handy. I'm going to try and keep some alive.
Definitely on Arcos, nearly most of the time.
Passion of the Penitent. Fight phase. 1 penitent unit from your army that has not been selected to fight. Until the end of the phase, each time a penitent model in your unit makes a melee attack, you get crit 5s.
Yeah.
What would that go on? Was
Well, basically, your Arcos and Repentia have got sustained hits on all their weapons in combat, so they'd be sustaining on 5s and 6s.
Yeah, nice.
You put the Palatine with the Repentia, they're sustaining lethals on 5s and 6s.
Yeah, that's
rolls to hit. It's definitely a combo I think you have to take.
Yeah, that's good then. Yeah, if you're getting sustained and lethal 5s with re-rolls to hit.
Rolls to hit, yeah. And then, I mean, the thing is, Repentia has still only got 2 attacks base, unless you're in that certain vow, yeah, when they get 3 attacks each, which is probably what you want, really. Because otherwise, they're just, they're not that many attacks still. But very.
They've got 30 attacks, re-rolling 5 sustained to 5 lethals. They're going to start doing
been able to potentially kill tanks, realistically. And then I think one of the Penitent engines has got lethal hits on its weapons as well. I think you can either take a lethal hits weapon or a sustained hits weapon.
So that boosts your damage a nice amount, doesn't it, for 1 CP? Yeah,
definitely.
Next one, Lash of Guilt. Your movement phase just before a penitent unit from your army advances. Target that unit. Until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to declare a charge in which it advanced. If your unit has the Penitent Engines keyword, do not make an advance roll. Instead, just add 6 to its move.
Yeah, because they're the ones that advance and charge anyway.
Ah, right, okay.
But I was saying, like I said, with Repentia, you can advance and charge them.
Yeah, this army is going places.
I think definitely. It'd be fast as hell.
Like, you're not hiding. Wait, like, Jesus Christ.
No, you can literally just stage pretty much wherever you want. Because, I mean, Repentia and Arcos move 7 base, and if they're in transports, they're moving 10. In range of Catherine, 13. That's just their base move before they've even advanced.
That's so wild.
So
then you just pop 1 CP.
Advance and charge, yeah. Or even, they've even moved 13 without having to advance. So
the only thing with this is you have to do it in your movement phase. So you just have to make sure you know where you were going to, like maybe use a miracle dice to make sure.
Oh, yeah. It's not like you can already roll the advance and then say, oh, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, that's it.
You have to do it before you advance. So you have to know which unit's going to advance and charge and just hope they don't have Phantasm or something horrendous.
It's not horrendous anymore, mate. I always roll a 1 on mine. Everyone else's reactive moves just better now.
Yeah, don't get D6 reactive moves.
It's just pointless, mate. It should be like D3 +1 or something.
Well, yeah.
Come on, please. Right, so it should just be more than a D6, I think. D3 +3 is what I meant.
I think especially if you're spending a strat on it. I mean, I can understand like a built-in ability where like the Dominions, they just go D6 if someone finishes within 9, but the fact that you've got to spend a CP to Phantasm and you then roll a 1 and you're just like, well, great.
Yeah, it's a bit shocking. But anyway, that's Eldar. Enough of that nonsense.
Yeah.
Right, Boundless Zeal. Your movement phase just after an Adepta Sororitas unit from your army falls back. That unit, until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to shoot or declare a charge. If your unit has the Penitent keyword, it is eligible to shoot and declare a charge. Yeah, that's pretty good.
They shoot charge. Like I said, they get, depending on the vow, they only get their plus attacks when they charge. So, that. And it's only your Penitent engines that actually shoot, so the net fallback shooting charge is quite irrelevant for half the units in there. But and their vehicles, they can shoot in combat anyway. Yeah,
so it's handy to have there, fallback and charge.
Well, yeah.
Devout fanaticism.
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 Something like that.
They're testing me here, mate. They're testing me. Your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. One penitent unit from your army that was selected as the target as one or more of the attacking unit's attacks. Roll 1d6. Your unit can be moved a distance in inches up to the result, but it must end that move as close as possible to the closest enemy unit. When doing so, models in your unit can be moved within engagement range. Nice.
Yeah, I think that's definitely quite good. Basically turning you into Khorne Berserkers.
Yeah.
I mean, it is good, especially if you've staged your units behind a wall, or kind of if you've got the move to just put yourself somewhere and just be like, well, shoot me, I don't really care, I'm just going to come into you. And I'm in that phase where I'm going to, well, I'd be fighting first because I'm technically defender.
Yeah, it's really
so it's just putting yourself in positions that your opponent doesn't dare shoot you, because then you'll just tie them up.
Yeah.
Isn't always bad. And especially with, like I say, with the increased move, you could probably put your opponent in bloody Arco jail if you really wanted to.
Yeah, you could do, yeah.
It's going to be an Arco jail turn 1.
And then if you shoot them, they come into and fight first.
Tag you up, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really, really strong. I have this on my Wolfguard battle leaders in the Stormlands, and it really fries people's brains.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Because people forget about it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really, really good. So what do you think to that detachment overall? I think it's pretty good.
I quite like it. I think I'm going to try and play it, mainly because I think a lot of the units that I usually use went up quite a lot of points, and I feel like I'm struggling to have many units in a list that I want. Whereas, I mean, apart from Pencha going through the roof, you actually get quite a lot of units in that list. I mean, you're then relying on being able to just punch people because you've not got any tanks.
No.
So, I mean, it's definitely worth a try, and I think in the right hands it could be pretty good.
It looks the most fun.
Yeah, 100%. It's just absolutely rapid. And the thing is, I don't play a lot of combat armies, but when your combat army moves as fast as that does, it's got to be quite easy to play, right?
Yeah.
You've not got to do much staging.
No, I don't think you need to stage. Just go turn 1. Bosh.
Well, that's it. Yeah, you're pretty much everywhere turn 1.
It's mental.
Okay, and ready to go.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm excited to see it, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it's one of them where it only affects so many units as well. So with it only affecting 3 units in the codex, or you then spend an enhancement for it to join a character to Repentia. It's not exactly the bloody rose of 9th edition.
No, it's a bit limiting, isn't it? It's a bit limiting in what you can take. It's telling you what to take, isn't it?
Yeah, and Arcos are still 0 AP, so
yeah,
they're good in Athenians, but
you might find you just full send and then you just lose your army by turn 3.
yeah. Like I said,
we'll have to see.
Yeah, I've done a couple of lists with them in, so. But it's amazing how many points you get when you've not got Val and the suits.
Yeah.
Because you still take Catherine, because like I said, she just gives you move for days.
Yeah, she's so
slightly bored.
I think even at her points cost, you just put her in every list, I think.
Yeah, like I said, she's utility. If you want a castle up at the back with your tanks, you're getting reroll 1s to wound. Multiple miracle dice for your exorcists, so they can do 6 damage if they get 2 wounds through, everything like that. And then, like I said, just the movement she brings.
Yeah.
And even for herself, she absolutely helps herself with that movement.
Yeah.
Because I think you just play her as more of a, not full send, but whereas she used to just sit on your backfield and castle.
Yeah, she has to move up a bit to keep the aura.
Yeah, I think she's still 18 wounds. She's still not that easy to kill.
Yeah.
So whether you just use her as more of an aggressive unit now and get that extra AP buff coming out. I mean, Repentia AP free in combat could be pretty grim if they're in range of her. So.
Yeah, cool. Be interesting to see that one on table, actually. All right, so this is the one what everyone's raving about, I think. Bringers of Flame.
Yeah.
So the detachment rule, ranged weapons basically have the assault ability, so advance and shoot. You can't advance an action anymore, obviously, because of the new mission pack. But also, if you're within 12 inch, you get +1 strength to your weapons as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just really, really, really good.
Yeah, it's an insane detachment, if I'm honest.
Literally everything with assault.
Yeah, it's like I said, when you've got miracle dice, your assaults can be insane, and it's the same with Catherine again. It's all over. Seraphim move 12. They move 15 in range of Catherine. They could move 21 and still shoot, and then they scoot. So they could go 21, shoot, and move another 6. It's just like, there's just so many. And then it's the same with your tanks. Like, all your tanks being able to advance and shoot.
Yeah, that's really
good. Sending exorcists at people. Your exorcists are moving 13 inches and then advancing and shooting. It's crazy.
Wild, isn't it?
We're not being able to advance action. Probably sucks, but you could just be anywhere on the board, don't you? It's like the best of the town. And having the +1 strength, I think, is bonkers. I mean, your melters go up to strength 10. Your hand flamers on Seraphim go to strength 5, which is just nuts.
Yeah, it's some nice break points in it. The melters of strength 10 is really good.
Yeah, it's better than being 900%.
And it's not like you even have to be like the closest or whatever. It's just literally you're within 12, and you move that far.
You come out of deep strike within 9 as well. So even if you don't start Val on the board, she's usually coming on within 12. So even everything that Val's got is going to be strength 10 and then +1 to wound if you're shooting a vehicle because of the paragons. So it's just, their melters are going to be even better.
Yeah, that's really, it's really good. I can see why everyone's raving about it. When did Sisters like get so fast?
Oh no, it's crazy. To be fair, I used to run Argent Shroud in 9th, which was basically the advance and shoot detachment. So yeah, this was the one I was looking forward to the most because I just love melter and flamers.
Yeah.
The way forwards.
Right, cool. So enhancements then: Righteous Rage, Adepta Sororitas model only. Each time the bearer is selected to fight, you can first discard up to 3 miracle dice. For each miracle dice just discarded until the end of the phase, add +1 to the attacks and strength characteristic of the bearer's melee weapons. It's interesting.
So yeah, it's a 10-point enhancement that I would literally put on the jump pack Canoness that once per game gets 3 attacks extra and dev wounds. So she gets like 11 attacks at strength.
What you were saying earlier.
8 or 9 with dev wounds, and she just goes off and rips some to pieces, and then
Super Saiyan.
That's her job done, isn't it?
Yeah, bloody hell, 85-point little Super Saiyan. It just goes
that's what I mean. She'll kill infantry, massively.
Yeah, that's mint actually. Yeah, it's pretty good for 10 points.
I don't know what else you could really put it on. I mean, maybe on the Palatine, because then she can do mortal, but I think every successful wound she does is a mortal, whereas getting dev wounds, probably the Canoness, I don't know what's going to be better. It's only 10 points, so it's quite easy to squeeze in. Yeah, it's a nice little one. Next one, Manual of Saint Griselda. Whoever she is. 15 this one.
At the start of your command phase, you can discard up to 2 miracle dice. Then add 1 miracle dice to your miracle dice pool, showing a value equal to the sum of the 2. That's just shit.
I mean, if you've got points, get rid of 2 frees and you've got a 6, but I said Val's getting you miracle dice for just shooting stuff with heavy bolters, and Catherine's giving you a 6 every turn. So, I mean, unless you've got points and you really want to get rid of some crappy miracle dice, then
So that one's just a bit pointless, in my opinion.
I like the idea, but
Fire and Fury, Adepta Sororitas model only. While the bearer is leading a unit, add 1 to the attacks characteristics of torrent weapons equipped by models in that unit, and all of the ranged weapons get sustained hits. That's all right. Yeah,
that's the one that I think is definitely an auto include in certain. I mean, obviously everyone's going off about the Seraphim Flamer bricks. It's the same thing I sent you, isn't it? So if you've got the Canoness with the Flamer, with a squad of 10 Seraphim with Flamers, and that enhancement, it's effectively 9d6 plus 9 shots.
Yeah, that's what
Flamers. And then obviously certain strats later on are definitely going to come into play. But then your hand flames are strength 5. I mean, they haven't got any AP, but if you shoot someone with a castigator, your AP 1 ignoring cover.
Yeah.
A lot of shots.
It's a lot.
I mean, I don't know where else you could really put it. I mean, on melters, Canonesses can still join Retribute. You can have your Retributors with sustained hits on the melters.
That's okay.
Because you're hitting on 4s with Retributors, so having sustained might actually not be a bad shout.
Yeah, it also helps if you like want to Overwatch with them and stick a 6 in, you've suddenly got 2 hits.
Yes, definitely. It's not a bad idea at all, actually.
So that's a pretty good one. Then we've got Iron Surplus of Saint Istalela.
All these saints.
There's a lot of saints, right? So this is a Canoness or Palatine model only. The bearer has a save characteristic of 2+ and a feel no plane of 5+.
It's a 5-point enhancement. You just
it's 5 point. Yeah, if you got 5 points, whack it on. I don't think it's going to save your 3 wound sister, but you never know.
Exactly the same thing I said. I mean, they might have to put a bit more damage in.
Yeah, I was thinking of, an extra storm bolter.
I've been doing lists today, and obviously I've not looked at the new secondary deck. It's turned up today, so I'm gonna have a look.
Yeah, I got mine today.
All these secondaries about having to do something and then hold it for your next turn. I'm just thinking, put a bunch of standard canonesses in that can once per game, just have once per phase, have a 2-up invuln, and just be like, well, she's gonna do it, and if you're gonna shoot her, she's got a 2-up invuln. Try and kill her.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 secondaries where you have to survive now to complete the action.
Yeah.
So yeah, little things that just help you.
Well, that's it. You can put a 2 on your miracle dice in. I mean, she's got 4 wounds with a 2-up invuln.
It just makes her annoying as well to kill.
Oh, of course it does. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to put something actually in to kill her.
Yeah.
But you know, because she can just come on from strat reserve and just walk on and be like, try and kill me.
Yeah, doing an action. Right, mate, we're going to the stratagems then.
Yes.
Shield of Aversion. In your opponent's shooting phase or the fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, one Sororitas unit from your army that was selected as the target of one or more of the attacking unit's attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time an attack targets your unit, worsen the... so it's armor contempt. Minus
yes. Yeah, and
attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I think it's definitely good. Like I said, Val's unit's got a 2-up save, so giving them armor contempt and cover just makes them even more.
Yeah. Everyone that strat who's got it, it's a good strat.
Yeah, even your tanks. Like I said, if you want something to survive, it's definitely good to have around.
Yeah.
Rather be at res characters, but
you can't have it all in one, mate. You can't have it all in one.
Just make one super detachment.
Imagine if you could just mix and match them.
Oh, yeah, that'd be ace.
Right, Righteous Blow. Fight phase. 1 Adepta Sororitas. I've had to say that so many times, I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Sororitas. Sororitas. From your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, melee weapons equipped by models in their unit have the lethal hits. If one or more enemy units are destroyed as the result of the attacks made by those weapons, select one of those destroyed models. That model's unit must take a battle shock test. That's worded weird. So you get lethal hits, and if you kill one model in that unit, then they have to take a battle shock. Yeah.
I think it's not bad.
Yeah, lethal hits is nice.
Yeah, it'll come into play in certain. Like I said, it's quite a shooty detachment, that really, isn't it? So you're only going to use it on so many things, but
yeah, that's only in the fight phase. So
yeah, obviously Catherine's got like 18 attacks in combat, so putting her with lethals, she gives herself like an extra AP buff as well, so she could be AP free with lethals. Like she's not bad at all.
Or it's situational, but
I mean, every time Val goes in, if I've got CP, I'll probably spend it. Because the thing is, Val's
get rerolls as well, and
the thing is, Val's only strength 8, and the Paragon suits, depending. Well, the swords are only strength, I think 7 now, because I think they actually went up, and the maces are like strength 12. So even they struggle to kill tanks. You've just got to rely on your rerolls, but if you put lethals on them, definitely worthwhile.
Yeah, helps the next
suits went up. Oh yeah, the swords are strength 8 now. Actually, that's bonkers.
Yeah, if you're punching up into something, it's nice to pop it on there because you get the rerolls, like you said. They on 2s?
Only if it's a monster or vehicle.
Okay, so if you're going into a vehicle and you're running on 5s,
yeah,
you're probably just going to fish for lethals and the hits then.
Oh, they get +1 to win monsters and vehicles actually as well, don't they?
Yeah, so it does help.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got the CP there, you might as well. If you really want to, like a land raider, you'd probably need it to kill something big.
Yeah.
I mean, Val's obviously got dev wounds as well, so she does. She probably doesn't want lethals, actually.
Yeah, you don't want... Yeah, actually, yeah.
No. She's got devs, so yeah, you probably don't want lethals on that squad.
Yeah. That makes it weird now.
Rubbish strategy.
Right, okay. Carry forth the faithful. Your movement phase just before a transport model from your army advances. That model, until the end of the turn, you can reroll advance rolls for your transport, and units can disembark even though it's advanced. Units that do so count as having made a normal move and cannot charge. But if you want to, if there's a couple more inches to get you where you need to be, and you need to pile something out and shoot, then yes, pretty good.
Yeah, and then obviously you can't advance and do actions anymore. But if you advance your transport and disembark from it, you can then do an action with what disembarked. So you're still going.
Yeah, that's
further.
true. That's true.
Because most sisters transports move 12 like normal rhinos and stuff, so it is extra handy.
Yeah,
but then obviously they can advance and shoot anyway. They just obviously can't do actions.
Yeah, it's handy if you like need to get in melter range or something for you guys to pop out. I know. Cleansing flames. Your shooting phase. One unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot until the end of the phase. Torrent weapons get dev wounds.
There you go.
So that 9d6 plus 9 unit.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, the only way to get rerolls on flamers is your retributors if they shoot. I mean, retributors can take heavy flamers, so they're strength 6, AP 1/1. Obviously, they'd be strength 7, AP 1/1 in range, but they can get full rerolls to wound. But that's only if they shoot something that's just shot you or already killed one of your units. Sorry. So I mean, yeah, not been at a reroll. I mean, you're still just going to probably get an all right amount. It's not going to be as busted. It's not like, I mean, you know it from playing. How many do you normally get out of your warp talons or whatever they're called?
Warp spiders. Usually like 4.
4. And they only shoot 5d6, don't they?
Yeah. So if you double in that, you could get nearly 8.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, and then like I said, the Canonesses give you a CP, a strat for 0. So you squad with the Canonesses and does that strat for free, basically.
Just a free 8 dev wounds. There you go.
Yeah, on average. I mean, sometimes you might absolutely spike out your mind, but 9d9, you could get a lot of shots.
Yeah, it's pretty good, that. It's
and
really good.
Retributors is one person overwatches them and they're dead.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing about this list, is trying to figure out what's going to get overwatched and then just do what with what doesn't, really.
Yeah, having a lot less stuff to throw away, it's going to be trickier.
Yeah. 100%, and they're still easy to kill. So I mean, it's kind of like if I say I'm going to put 9. Well, the good thing about Seraphim is only 4 out of the 10 girls have hand flamers. So if someone overwatches me, you just kill. You've got 6 girls to die that don't have hand flamers before.
Yeah.
So you've still got, because they have 1 each. So as long as you've got 4 Seraphim in the character left, you've still got 9d6 plus 9 hand flamers.
Oh, that's all right then. That's pretty good.
Whereas Retributors, it's a squad of 5. 4 have got flamers. I jump out, you overwatch, kill 3 of them. I've got 2 girls left at the point.
Yeah. Not as good.
No. Even with reroll wounds, it's pointless.
Stick the melters on the retributors.
Or you could go really wild and put Val's unit with flamers, but I think melters is too good with them because they can take flamers as well, and they've got.
Can they? And they will get rerolls.
Yeah, but it's only 3d6. It's only 3. I'd rather have 6.
Yes. Yeah. All right, cool. Rites of Fire. Your shooting phase. One Adepta Sororitas unit from your army that disembarks from a transport this turn and has not been selected to shoot this phase. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes a ranged attack that targets an enemy unit within 12 inches that is also within range of an objective marker, you get +1 to wound. If one or more enemy models are destroyed as a result of those attacks, then they must take a battle shock again. So +1 to wound if they're on an objective.
And 12, and you have to disembark.
Yeah, that's very situated. That's a lot of boxes to tick.
I don't think it's going to come up. Like I say, it's the only thing that really is going to shoot good out of transports is retributors, and I've just kind of said the problem with retributors. Really, it's like you might have like a land raider or something on an objective, and them getting out. You could even advance the transport, disembark them, be within 12, get +1 to wound, but the risk of just losing a couple of them is not worth it because then your output's just dropped completely. I think that's the only problem with retributors, is that they can't be in squads of 10 anymore. You used to be able to take squads of 10 retributors, but then only 5 of them had the heavy weapons, so you could sacrifice minions first. But whereas as soon as you lose 1 or 2 models, your output's just dropped.
Yeah. That's one of them stratagems where it's like there's that many boxes to take. You forget, you're like, oh, it's on an objective. Oh, I've got to have a transport. Oh, let me win 12. I'm sure there's a stratagem where if I take like all the shit.
Yeah, no. Most of the shooting from sisters comes from pretty much your vehicles. Like your infantry is not that baller. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be needed.
No.
But yeah.
All right, the last one then. Blazing Ire. Ire? Blazing Ire, whatever it is. Ire. Ire.
Yeah.
Your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit has shot. One transport unit from your army that was selected as the target of one or more of the attacking unit's attacks. One unit embarked within your transport can disembark as if it were your movement phase, and then can shoot as if it were in your shooting phase, but must target only that enemy unit when doing so. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's another. What is it? 1 second.
They shoot your transport, and you go, right, my retributors are going to jump out and shoot you back for free.
Yeah, it's just quite unclear on whether it happens if the transport gets destroyed or not, isn't it?
I think if your transport was destroyed, then you can't do it because you wouldn't be disembarking, which is you'd be you'd.
Oh, no, wait. Oh, what? That might actually be really good because it just says one Adepta Sororitas transport unit from your army that was selected as the target of one or more attacks. So once they've selected it, you then disembark and shoot before they even shoot you. Is how I'm reading it, because it says one unit embarked in your transport can disembark as if it was your movement phase, and then can shoot as if it was your shooting phase.
Yeah, it hasn't said.
It just says once they've targeted your transport. So if they just said, "I'm going to shoot that transport," you said, "I'm going to jump out and shoot you first," and you're not even going to get to shoot.
Maybe that might get FAQ'd. I don't know. That's pretty wild.
But then that defeats that gets rid of the scared of being overwatched when you disembark strat, that you could literally just put a rhino on the middle with some retributors in and just be like, just try and dare shoot me, go for it.
That's really good.
If you even think about, like, if someone, because I mean transports like immolators are T10, like you have to have some anti-tank to kill them. You're not just going to kill them with bolt guns.
No.
So like if someone puts a gladiator lancer into it, before it even gets to shoot, the retributors jump out, can't be overwatched, and can just shoot you.
Yeah, that's really good.
Which is pretty nutty actually. You just put a transport there as bait, don't you?
Yeah, go on, shoot me. Go on, please.
That's it. And if it happens before they actually get to shoot, that's crazy.
It should be blazing ire. So just jump,
I know, right?
That's just jump out.
Actually.
Ire. Wash.
Yeah.
But that's funny. Yeah, so obviously we've already said this is your favourite one. There's a lot of people going on about this detachment for saying it's the best one. What do you think overall? Good? Very good?
Yeah, I think very good. I think it's got a bit of everything, hasn't it? I mean, you've even got, it's going to suit most units in the army, I think. If I'm honest. All the other detachment, apart from the first one, obviously the first one's just kind of like do stuff when you die, or basically, and then the second one's very dependent on certain units, and I think the last detachment's kind of the same. It's all dependent on certain units, whereas this one, I don't think there's many units in the game that would not want to advance and shoot.
Yeah, it's just good for any unit, really.
Yeah. Like I said, I've played the whole of 10th with a pretty rubbish detachment rule. So even just having your whole army can advance and shoot as a detachment rule, it's not the most wild, but I think it is good. I think it's very good.
We've seen like Tau with Monk card come forward, haven't we, and see how good it is.
Yeah,
so we can run and shoot. So yeah, cool. Right, we'll get on to the last one then. Army of Faith. A detachment rule is each Sororitas unit from your army can perform up to 2 acts of faith per turn instead of just 1. So does that mean you can use 2 miracle dice per unit?
Yeah, perfect. So basically your whole army gets that little 6-inch aura that Catherine gives you, basically.
That's really good.
It is, but you're just gonna. Yeah, it is good, definitely. I think it's one of them. Depends on what if you take a bunch of vehicles with high D6 damage and stuff like that, it's definitely good to be able to use 2, 100%. Or you can, like say, if you take the Dev Wounds Retributor squad, you can just put 2 dice in straight away instead of 1.
Yeah. But you said to me before, aren't you, that you just burn through them too quick, and you'll find that you don't actually have
Yeah, there's certain ways of this detachment does give you more ways of gaining miracle dice than the other detachments do. I'll be honest. But then when you're having less units than you used to, you're not gaining them that way either.
Yeah.
That's the only worry I have, is that you will just burn through them. And I feel like if you've got one super punch unit that you want to do 2 miracle dice per turn, just put Catherine near it.
Yeah.
You don't need the whole detachment rule. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
usually there's only so many units that are going to want to do 2. I mean, it's nice to have, because there might be one occasion where you think, oh bloody hell, I could use 2 here.
Yeah, but then you've got Catherine. Yeah, it's a bit. I know what you mean. Actually, when you first look at it, I mean, obviously as a sisters player, you can see that. But like when I first looked at it, I'm like, wow, that's really good.
Yeah, because I mean, even before, when Catherine used to have the aura of you could do as many miracle dice as you want, it wasn't just 2. You only had her near 1 brick that would do the damage, and that'd be it.
Yeah,
It's the same now. Like, even if you can spend 2 on per unit per phase, I mean, like,
yeah, I get you.
you only need 1 for an advance in the advance phase. You can only use 1 for a charge in the charge phase. So unless you're going to start using a hit and a wound on the same unit every turn, or
Yeah,
2 wounds. 2 wounds is probably the one, really, or 2 damage. But then,
yeah. So it's not as good as a first glance, is it?
I mean, I wouldn't say. I don't think it is, in my opinion, because I think there's only so many units in the game that will benefit from having that, and that's like your Retributors and your Exorcists and Val's squad. But if you want them, just put Catherine near them.
Yeah, I get you. Cool. All right then. So enhancements then. Litanies of Faith, a Canoness or a Palatine model. At the start of your command phase, if the bearer is on the battlefield, take a leadership test. If it's passed, you gain a miracle dice. So this is what you were just saying. There is ways to gain an extra one. That would be an extra probably 3 or 4 over the course of the game.
It's 10 points, that one.
Yeah, that's good. You'd stick that in, and if you were playing this detachment, I presume you'd just take that.
Yeah, probably. Just try and get more miracle dice.
Yeah, 100%. Blade of Saint Eleanor, Sororitas model only. Improve the strength and AP characteristics of the bearer's melee weapons by 1, and those weapons have the precision ability. In addition, each time the bearer fights, if 1 or more enemy models are destroyed by those attacks, you gain a miracle dice.
Yeah, and you've got to do a model.
Got to kill a model.
And you get a miracle dice. It's 15 points. Just chuck it on the canvas.
Again, yeah, you probably stick that in because you're in the detachment where you want to spam miracle dice. So I think you probably take both of them.
I'd like that, or that jump pack Canoness again. There's always one enhancement that just makes her even more buff.
Yeah. So you put 25 points for both of them, and then over the course of the game, you're going to get at least a handful more miracle dice.
She gets precision as well, remember?
And precision, which is nice.
So she gets an extra strength, an extra AP, and precision. So she'll just go and snipe characters because she'll have about 10 attacks.
Yeah. Cool. I think this is another similar one. Divine Aspect. In your movement phase, you can select one enemy unit within 12 inches of the bearer. They must take a battle shock test. If that test is failed, you gain a miracle dice. So another one.
It's 5 points.
5 points.
If you've got it. Yeah, but who fails battle shock nowadays? Like, do you know what I mean? Imagine if you had both your enhancements and you failed your battle shock and they passed theirs, and you're just like, I've spent 20 points and I've not gained any miracle dice this turn, wounded. I have to rely on them in battle shocks.
Right, the last one. Jesus, I'm not even reading the name of that.
Tripeach of them. Yeah, no, me neither.
Good effort, mate. Good effort.
What is that?
Sororitas model only. Each time the bearer uses an act of faith to substitute a saving throw, that saving throw is successful irrespective of the value of the miracle dice used. So you can just use like 1s to save.
Yeah, and you can use obviously 2 per phase in that detachment.
Yeah. Get rid of your worst ones to keep the character alive.
Yeah, it's 20 points enhancement.
Yeah, it's 20 points though. I probably wouldn't take that.
No, like I said, the characters are too. Apart from the epic heroes, the characters I don't think need any buffing at all. Apart from like combat potential, I think survival you're still sitting on a nice edge.
Yeah, you just accept that the weak characters defensively.
Yeah, of course you do.
All right, cool. Stratagems then. Shield of Faith. any phase just after an Adepta Sororitas unit from your army suffers a mortal wound, that unit or one friendly jump pack unit within 3 inches of it, until the end of the phase, models in your unit have the 5-up feel no pain ability against mortal wounds. If you targeted a jump pack unit from your army with this stratagem, then until the end of the phase, while a friendly Adepta Sororitas unit is within 3 inch, your models in that unit have the feel no pain 5+ against mortal wounds.
It's really weird, all these stratagems, because they're kind of like, you put it on a unit and you get it. You put it on a jump pack unit and you get it as an aura. Pretty much how most of these strats work.
Okay, right, okay. So, I don't think that's very good.
It's just a 5-up feel no pain, isn't it, to mortals? And it's only really, I mean, devs have changed to mortals now, haven't they?
Devs have changed to mortals, I suppose. So I think against T-Suns and stuff, this would actually be all right. But just all right.
It would, but I don't think T-Suns need mortals to kill sisters when they've got warp flamers.
No.
I think putting on one of your tanks actually might not be too bad.
Yeah, I don't think that's very good.
It's very situational, isn't it?
Yes.
There's not a lot of mortals in the game now.
Too niche. Light of the Emperor in your command phase. Any unit from your army. Until the end of the turn, your unit is blessed. While the unit is blessed, it can ignore any or all modifiers to the following: the profile characteristics of its models, the weapon skill, the ballistic skill of weapons equipped by its models, any roll or any test made for it, excluding modifiers to saving throws. If your unit has the jump pack keyword, until the end of the turn, while the friendly unit is within 3 inches of your unit, that friendly unit is blessed. So yeah, you're just ignoring modifiers. And again, if it's jump pack, it's a little aura. So again, it's a bit shit.
Yeah, it's another very niche one. I mean, if you go up against, like, which one is it? There's one of the greater demons in there that's got like a minus hit.
Keeper of Secrets, yeah. There's loads of stuff with -1 to hit in the game, to be fair, and like stratagems and smoke and stuff, if you want to ignore that, but it's not. Or like if a vehicle's bracketed or something, but like, yeah, it's not. It's just, yes. If it was just like it gave it +1 to hit, that'd be better.
Yeah, that stratagem was pretty much in the original detachment for the whole of 10th, and I never used it once.
No, that's fair. So 2 bad ones so far. Then Faith and Fury. 1 unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, melee weapons equipped by models in your unit have the Lance ability. If 1 or more enemy models are destroyed as a result of your unit's attacks, you gain a miracle dice. So that's good. That's a good one. You get +1 to wounds.
Yeah, and you're guaranteed to usually kill a model.
Yes, you're going to get a miracle dice out of it as well.
Trading CP for a miracle dice.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Lance is just good, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if that was in one of the other detachments, it'd be quite crazy.
Could have done with that one in the Penitent one.
Yeah, I think they'd be absolutely killer, though, I think, if they had access to
that. Blinding Radiance. Your opponent's shooting phase or the fight phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. 1 unit from your army that was selected as the target of 1 or more of the attacking unit's attacks, or 1 friendly jump pack unit within 3 inches of such a unit. So they're doing the jump pack aura thing again. Until the end of the phase, each time an attack targets your unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll. If you targeted a jump pack unit from your army with this stratagem, then until the end of the phase, everyone within 3 inches -1 to hit. That's a little bit better than the other ones. -1 to hit's all right.
-1 to hit isn't bad, no. I mean, the whole aura thing I don't fully understand, because it's like I said, whatever shoots into a unit of Seraphim or Zephyrim, -1 to hit or not, they're probably dead.
Yeah,
yeah. 5 wounds at T3, like, you could put intercessors into them and they'd probably die. -1 to hit or not, like, and then to have to give it out as an aura, I've got 5 units less than I had in last balanced data slate, but I'm going to put them all within range of this aura.
Yeah, I'm just going to bunch my army together to get this 3 inch -1 to hit.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, I don't think.
Why is it 3 inch, not 6 as well?
It's 5. It could be 5 or 10 girls, so you could get a pretty big aura.
True.
Girls with a 3 inch aura, but I think it still is. I like the idea of it because, like, they're angels, and I think having a jump pack detachment is really cool. But I think they're not. like I said, putting anything survivable on sisters is pointless.
Yeah.
Just put the output up.
Yeah.
More damage.
That's why the other two, the first and the third one, just seem to be better because it's all about output.
Yeah, 100%.
And then the last one, oh no, I've got two more. Have we?
Yeah, divine guidance and
Divine guidance, yeah. Your shooting phase or the fight phase. One Sororitas unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot or fight. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack, improve the AP by 1. If you destroy a model, you get a miracle dice. That's another good one.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best strats in the book, I think, just being able to have an extra AP wherever you want. Shooting.
And if you couple this with the lance one, you're getting lance plus 1 AP and probably 2 miracle dice.
Yeah, that's definitely. Getting extra AP is bonkers, isn't it? Because so many units, so many armies have got ignore AP, or you can get cover so easy that being able to just put extra AP on.
Yeah, it's always good, isn't it?
As and when. It's the fact that you can do it in shooting as well, which I don't think any army can really do apart from Space Marines.
But yeah, that's pretty good, that.
An extra AP on them exorcists that I'm just charging at you. I've got AP4 now. But,
yeah, that's really good, that one, actually, because I'm even thinking with stuff like flames and stuff, like if you shoot your, which one's the one that ignores cover? The vehicle that ignores cover?
The Immolator.
Yeah, if you shoot that first, and then like you shoot a bunch of flamers, you put your flamers to AP1 ignoring cover sort of thing.
Yeah, or you could even stack it with the castigators, because the castigators give extra AP, so you can have AP2 if you stack it with.
Yeah.
If your castigator shoots it first.
Yes, I think that one and the lance one, the ones you're using so far. And then there's just one more, Angelic Descent. End of your opponent's fight phase. One jump pack unit from your army, remove it from the battlefield and place it into strategic reserves. You can not select a unit that's within engagement range. So yeah, that's really good as well.
Yeah, I do like that one. It gives you more options because obviously they don't have scouts or any kind of stuff like that. Sisters, the only option you've got is a cowardice. But if I'm honest, the price of 5 Seraphim now is only 10 points less than a cowardice. So I think I'd probably rather just take a cowardice.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not to just, and she's low not. It is really good to have though, because like being able to pop off and
of course it is.
Jump around is what makes the edition, isn't it? It's how you score points.
Yeah, I mean we've seen like through 10th edition, like so many armies use this to, like you said, like demons, grey knights,
I think movement definitely does.
Even Marines with vanguards, like so just being able to pick your unit up and put it in reserves, especially when they've got deep strikes, just really good.
Yeah, when they've got deep strike, definitely.
So that's that then.
Deep strike, shoot and move.
Yeah, that's good as well. That you can put them down, shoot and move again. Yeah, so that's that then. So that's all the detachments. So what do you think in order then? I think I know which order you're going to put them in.
Do you reckon?
I think so. Start with number 4. What's the worst one in your opinion?
I think probably that last one.
Yeah.
My opinion. I think definitely. I think the last one.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the stratagems aren't that great. They're quite niche. They don't. I think with the points going up and the data sheets and stuff being so expensive, you need a detachment that's going to get the most out of them units. Otherwise, there's not much point. Like Repentia are only good in one detachment.
Yeah.
All your tanks have gone up an average of 20 to 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in a detachment where they're actually going to get benefit from that points increase. And I don't feel like that last one benefits enough units that.
No.
Catherine's an auto take in any detachment, and she gives you what you need.
Yeah.
Using 2 miracle dice, because I don't think even with the ability to get extra miracle dice, you're not going to have enough.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to have some, but you're just going to end up with 1s and 2s.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed.
Yeah, some of the stratagems are naff as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I mean, there might be a play in it one day, but I think as with things as they are, it did excite me quite a lot, that one, when it originally came out. But then the more that I thought about it, the more I'm just like...
Yeah, it's just slipped down and down.
If I had that detachment rule the whole of 10th before, I'd probably be well over the moon with it. But since I'm going into a game with 300 points less than I did before, I need something... I need good strats and strong detachment rules.
Yeah, you need to pump your output up and...
Massively, yeah.
To get back
because They don't survive no matter what you do.
Yeah, that's fair. So then so that's Army of Faith number 4. Number
Yes.
3.
I think it's quite a close one actually. I think it's hard when I've not played with any of them.
Yeah.
Realistically, I think there's only 2 detachments I'm going to play in this codex. So I'd say the third one would be the other one that I'm not going to play, which is probably the first one, the one that
Hallowed Martyrs, is it?
I'm playing now. Yeah, the Hallowed Martyrs one.
That's fair.
It's one of them. I think the detachment rule's very as and when.
Yeah.
And we discovered the strats are really good. The enhancements not so much. I think there's still play. Like I think it would do averagely well.
Yeah. Like you said, the strats are really good in that detachment.
Yeah. But I think that the advance and shoot one just does everything better, apart from res characters, but I can live with that. And then yeah, the other one's just more fun, attacky style. So I think I think it falls third mainly just because I'm probably not going to use it now.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough.
I've used it for over a year, so
yeah, that's fair enough. And then obviously, I think I know that number 2 would be Penitent Host.
Yeah, right? Definitely. I think it could be good. I'm definitely going to try it because I've wasted my time building and painting 30 Repentia. I'm definitely going to try it, even though they are so expensive. It makes me sick.
How much is it for a Unit 10?
Unit 10's 180 points.
All right, that is a lot.
They were 120.
That is a lot.
They went up 60 points, and they're still T3, 1 wound, 7 up save, 5 up feel no pain. That's it.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah. But then I think in that detachment, they've got the speed and ability to be able to get wherever they want and not be stood out in the open. So hopefully they should be able to trade every time.
Yeah.
That's what you need to hope. You need to be good enough at playing combat armies, which I don't usually play with, to be fair. So having one that moves that fast might actually kind of help me.
It'd be interesting. I don't think you'll see Repentia other than in that detachment, though.
No, 100%. Because the problem with Repentia now is as well as you used to take the superior as a character, so you used to take 10 Repentia and then add the superior, whereas now she counts as one of the 10. So when you take a squad of 5, you only have 4 Repentia and the superior, and she hits she's crap. She doesn't hit well at all. So if you spend 90 points on 5 Repentia, you've only got 8 attacks that are decent from them, and it's like 90 points for 8 attacks.
Yeah, what is that?
I think apart from that detachment, they're definitely not going to be seen, and they need rhinos and they need staging. But I think they should be able to delete most things they hit.
Yeah.
It's just whether you kind of have like a full 30 Repentia full send, and then behind that's like 20 Arcos just to sit and survive, give them the 4 feel no pain, and then just have some scoring units here, there, and everywhere.
I think it could be interesting, definitely. I think it could work.
Yeah.
And then obviously number 1 is the Bringers of Flame.
Yes, definitely. And I think I struggled building lists for this because I didn't know what route to go down. It's kind of, you can either go down the whole, because since some of their strats are quite niche, they kind of have the opposite effect of the first detachment, where their detachment rule's so good, but 3 of the strats I'm probably never going to use, like the transports disembarking and wound and stuff like that. With the points costs, it's kind of, you put Catherine in, you put Val and some suits in, and you've already spent 600 points. And then you kind of just like, do I take loads of Seraphim and do Dev Wound strat every turn, or do I take loads of Retributors with the Dev Wound character? And I'm kind of tied between, because
I mean, I think that shows why it's the best one, because there's options to go down. There's different avenues where you could go down, and they'd all be good.
Yeah, 100%.
In this detachment,
I think giving Dev Wounds to Retributors could be really good. Definitely.
Would like a vehicle list be good in this as well?
I think so. My list does still have quite a few vehicles, but the Exorcists have gone up again. They're 190 points now.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And you just struggle for scoring. You don't have anything to score.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you have to kind of like tweak about, and then I'm going to look at the new mission cards and see, because obviously I think lone ops are a new way forward.
Yeah.
So whether taking the Demon Fuge is still an idea,
and
maybe an assassin, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think learn ops have gone up in value.
Massively.
With the secondary missions having to sort of do the action and survive.
Yeah.
So it's turn.
I'm having 2 games this week, so I think I'm going to try one of each detachment and see.
Nice.
And see how they go.
Yeah, cool. You have to report back.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so so that's all the detachments then. And then Scott, do you want to just run us through your top 5 units in the new book, and then we'll finish up there.
Yeah, I'd done my top 5 before the points came out, and I don't probably slightly changed a few things. I've picked the top 5 based on, I think no matter what detachment you take, they're going to be either an auto included my eyes or just very good. Like I said, we said earlier, certain units are only going to be good in some detachments.
Yeah.
So number 5, I think, is Castigators.
Yep.
I think they're still they went up 10 points, maybe 20, and they lost re-rolls, but I think still having the blast, they're still just your best anti-infantry shooting vehicle, really.
Yeah.
And the fact that they ignore cover anyway, they're going to be giving out extra AP to the rest of your army just for shooting at something.
Yeah.
The tank's got 3 heavy bolters on it, so you could just put 1 heavy bolter into a unit. As long as you hit it once, which guaranteed you should, all the rest of your stuff can go elsewhere, and it's just, I think it's still going to be good. They're survivable as far as tanks go. And then advancing and shooting, what's not to love?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I think ignoring cover in 10th edition is just massive anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Having AP1 ignore cover is really good.
Everybody just gets cover because you just stick your claw around the wall like that.
Basically, yeah. Or the tip or something.
Stick your gun like that behind the wall. Somehow you get a cover save.
Yep.
All right, so what's next?
That new jump cannoness, I think.
Yeah.
I think she's one of them as well. I mean, I'll see when I try her out. She might just get shot and fall over, but nearly every detachment has got an enhancement that seems to just make her even better. And when you can get dev wounds once per game, I know you don't get any re-rolls, but she can get pretty much over 10 attacks in most detachments. And for 75-point character, she flies.
She's quick.
She's just quick, do you know what I mean? Or you could even ingress her if you were really desperate. But then obviously she joins Seraphim and gives them strats at -1 AP, at -1 CP, sorry.
Yeah.
Being able to join the Seraphim's good.
Yeah, 100%.
She just makes them a bit punchy as well, because the problem with Seraphim is they're not that killy. And then Zephyrim are just way overcosted now that you probably wouldn't take her with them either. And I think that's the problem Celestine's got now, is that anything Celestine joins is just turning into a seriously expensive unit.
Yeah. Do you not think you'll see her now?
Not massively, no. Well, I never took her anyway. I thought she was overcosted as it was. I mean, she reses more models than she used to, but I don't know. It'd be a very big, expensive brick.
Yeah, not worth it.
Yes.
All right.
What are we on?
Number 3.
I've gone with Val, number 3.
Nice. Well, she's a staple in like every single listing, so she had to be on there.
Yeah, she's probably on my number 3 because technically she's not that good without Paragons, but Val on Paragons is number 3 because that unit should. I've always taken it, and I probably always will take it, even though it keeps going up in points. It can literally come on a board edge and just delete anything in the game nearly if it wants to.
Yeah, it's the full rerolls, isn't it? Full rerolls to hit and wound.
To hit and wound, and then combined with now you're getting +1 strength in that detachment. You're getting +1 to hit and wound monsters and vehicles, like because of the Paragons. Her ability that you can just spend a 1 and she can just go mad in combat every turn. She gets 8 attacks in combat if she does that, so she just rips.
It's well good.
Hitting on 2s, and then you just fish for devs, don't you? And she's flat.
Yeah.
She's just nuts. I mean, getting her into combat, you always want to try and ingress her, and that's the one thing I think I learned towards the end of the edition, is I used to deep strike her in, blast something, and then try and get a 9-inch charge, whereas I spent the last half of before the book basically trying to ingress her as much as I could.
Yeah, making use of ingress.
So,
yeah, definitely the better player to ingress a unit like that, I think.
Yeah, 100%. or you're just relying on a 9-inch charge. And I know with Miracle Dice, you put a 6 in and hope that you roll a 3, and you just don't. You roll a 2, you roll a 2, and they are still vehicles, so they do struggle to get around walls. Whereas if you ingress her, she moves 8, and then you've made up that without having to charge, really.
Yeah. Cool. That's number 3. So 2 more. Your top two. Top 2.
Yes. Do you think you know what my 2 is?
I would have actually said that unit was a little bit higher. So
I think it's like I said, because I think without the suits, technically Val's.
I am struggling, you know. Go on.
Number 2, I had Seraphim.
Okay.
Mainly because, I mean, they did go up in points. I think they only went up 15 points, whereas the other sisters with wings went up 30. But I mean, I think the amount of games that Seraphim have won me just simply because they can shoot and scoot and deep striking, shoot something and then move 6 afterwards is bonkers.
Yeah.
Like the hand flamers are stronger than everyone else's hand flamers in the game. Mm-hmm. So they'll just kill backline cultists, grots, all that kind of stuff. And then I don't know, they just do so well at scoring.
Yeah, they are a top scorer piece, and the primary denial as well. Because, like you say, you can shoot and move onto objectives and just deny primary late game and stuff. So
if people leave you gaps, like you can get onto objectives easy enough. And then when you had exorcists before, it's kind of like I can shoot and move these onto there. Yeah, you out OC me, but I'm just going to exorcist you until you don't.
Yeah.
It's literally how it went in the last edition.
Yeah.
So I think the scoring potential they give you, and then now that you can take them. Now that there's potentially a Dev Wound build, I mean, we'll see because it's quite pricey, but if they give you a Dev Wound build as well, that's even better. Just take 30.
Yeah. Take 30 of them.
Just Dev Wounds every turn. No, I do love Seraphim. I think they're brilliant.
Yeah, cool. The cool models as well.
Yeah. Famous.
And what's the big number 1 then?
Obviously, it's got to be Catherine, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's got to be.
I mean,
I was a bit mad at how many points she went up, but I can't write a list and not think how it can be better with her, if that makes sense. Like, you've got a full send penitent host army, you might as well just give them all an extra free move. Do you know what I mean? Or even if they're still in range, they get an extra +1 charge off her, and then same when you've got advancing and shooting vehicles and Seraphim, she's giving you +3 to that just for being stood there. Because, and I think just as a whole, like I said, playing her aggressively, I think it's going to be decent because she is still quite hard to kill.
Yeah. I mean, she's just like so flexible with all the different auras as well.
Yeah, that's
we spoke about it loads, haven't we, through this?
6 every turn. That's the bonus enough, isn't it? Because I've gone some games where I've probably not even rolled a single 6 on Miracle Dice, and then just to have 1 every single turn means that even if my hunter killer miraculously hits and wounds somehow, it's going to be a 6 damage every time.
Yeah.
Or that turn 1 advance. It means that literally, if you don't roll a 6 on your advance turn 1, if you don't roll a 6 on your first Miracle Dice turn 1, but you really need that advance to just full send, then you've got it, haven't you? Especially in Penitent Host, because Bernetta just advanced for Repentance 6 inches. Yeah,
she's got to be number 1. I think you're not going to see a sisters list, or at least at the top tables at an event without her, I don't think.
No, neither do I. I mean, and I think the problem is since everything's so expensive now, even if you drop her, I don't know what you'd get to replace her, because she's the same points as an Exorcist, and I kind of know what I'd probably rather have.
Yeah.
Because I love Exorcists. It's like, all right, I drop her and I take 10 Seraphim. Okay, she's still probably better.
Yeah, 100%. All right, then, cool. Well, I think that's just about everything, isn't it, Scott?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for coming on, dude. It's been great to hear the insight from the top sisters player in the UK from last year. Hopefully you can go on another run with...
Second last year.
Or was it second? Oh, you dropped to second. Boom. I should have run first place, so... I'm kidding. Hopefully you can keep them going with the new points hikes and the new rules and everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try my best because I got so excited about this codex.
If you love your sisters, you can do it.
I do, yeah. But yeah, We'll see.
All right then, guys. Thanks for watching. Please give us a like and a subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. We have got some events upcoming. You can see all our events in the link below in the description of the video. So please check them out. And I'll see you next time. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.